The story of Lanka for many begins with a great war and the arrival of Lord Rama. But the history of the island kingdom is far older, and its first great conflict wasn't against Rama but came from within its own royal family. It was a struggle between two brothers, born out of the same father but very different natures. This is a story of how the famous golden city of Lanka was first lost and won. It is the tale of Ravan's path to power, and it begins not with an enemy, but with his own brother, the god of wealth, Kubera. Namaste and welcome to Chaturya, the Four State Podcast. I'm K. Kumar, author of 9 best-selling books, and in today's episode, I will tell you the story of Kubera and his conflict with Ravan. But before we dive into this episode, please make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you are notified of when I upload a new episode. According to the Uttar Ramayana, the Devas sought Shiva's protection due to the Rakshasas and their increasing harassment. Indra informed Shiva of the Rakshasas' unrighteous deeds, and then Shiva directed the Devas to Vishnu. Vishnu subsequently engaged in a battle with the Rakshasas, who retreated to Lanka. To eliminate the danger posed by their presence in Lanka, Vishnu dispatched the Sudarshana Chakra, his discus, to Lanka daily to kill the Rakshasas in groups. As the Chakra or the discus performed its task, the remaining Rakshasas fled to Pataloka. With Lanka thus deserted, Kubera took up residence there. The Yakshas, who originated from Brahma's hunger and had been leaderless, eventually settled in Lanka under Kubera's leadership. Lanka was a city of gold, a place of extraordinary beauty and said to have been originally built for Indra by Maya. Kubera had earned his divine status not through conquest but through years of quiet devotion to Shiva. He ruled over the Yakshas, the nature spirits, and under his peaceful rule, Lanka was a center of wisdom and light. He was known by many titles: Dhanada, the giver of wealth, and Rajaraja, the king of kings. His greatest treasure was a gift from Brahma. You have heard it maybe, the Pushpaka Vimana, a wondrous flying chariot that could travel anywhere in the cosmos simply by the power of thought. This was Lanka in its great age, a reward for virtue, not a prize won by force. But this golden age was about to end. The peace in Lanka would be broken by its own royal family. Kubera's father, the sage Vishrava, took another wife, a princess of the Rakshasas named Kaikesi. And from this union, a new set of children were born: Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana, and their sister Shurpanakha. They were Kubera's half siblings, related by blood but separated by ambition. One day, a young Ravana watched as his brother Kubera visited his father, arriving in the glorious Pushpaka Vimana. Seeing this display of divine splendor planted a seed of bitter envy in Ravana's heart. Driven by this new ambition, Ravan and his brothers began their own period of intense penance or tapasya. But where Kubera had prayed for spiritual merit, Ravan prayed for power. He sought invincibility and the ability to dominate others and the strength to take whatever he wished. And Lord Brahma, impressed by Ravan's discipline, granted him his boons. He was granted near invulnerability from gods and demons. Armed with this power, Ravan no longer looked upon his half-brother's kingdom with respect. He saw it only as a prize that should be his. His envy, now backed by celestial, cosmic power, hardened into a single goal: to take Lanka for himself. With his new strength, Ravan marched on Lanka with his Rakshasa army. What happened next is told in a few different ways. Some versions of the story say that their father, Vishrava, saw the conflict coming. Knowing Ravana's nature and wishing to avoid a war between his sons, he advised Kubera to leave the city peacefully. But other accounts tell of a swift and brutal takeover. In this version, Ravana's forces simply overwhelmed Lanka. Kubera, a god of prosperity rather than war, was no match for Ravan's aggression and his powerful boons. The Yaksha army was defeated and Kubera himself was overpowered and forced to flee his own kingdom. Ravan's victory was total. He took the throne, the city's vast riches, and most importantly, he seized his brother's greatest treasure, the Pushpaka Vimana. The remarkable flying chariot, once a symbol of a god's virtue, was now the property of an ambitious conqueror. Lanka had a new lord. Meanwhile, the defeated Kuber and his followers, the Yakshas, traveled north into the vast Himalayan mountains. There, near the sacred Mount Kailash, the home of Lord Shiva, Kuber established a new city called Alakapuri. In losing his physical kingdom, it seems Kuber's true purpose became clearer. He transitioned from being the king of one golden city to the divine guardian of all wealth, a symbol of righteous prosperity. His story became a lesson on the nature of power. That which is taken by force is often insecure. Back in Lanka, Ravan's reign began. Under his rule, the city grew even more powerful and his name inspired fear across the world. But his entire empire was built on an act of betrayal. This act of seizing his brother's kingdom was the first step on a long path that would lead to his pride consuming him and his fateful conflict with Lord Rama and the eventual destruction of the very city he had fought to win. The conquest of Lanka was Ravan's first great victory, but it was also the first crack in the foundations of his empire, a flaw that would eventually grow until everything came crashing down. And it leaves us with a quiet question that echoes through time. What is more valuable? The power to conquer a kingdom or the wisdom to understand that nothing built on ego and pride can truly last? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this story from the Purans interesting, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations of this ancient timeless tale. And please to share it with someone else who loves a good story from our Purans. May the Yakshas be with you.